The year was 2020, and we were in the beginning stages of the global pandemic. And for many of us, including myself, we had to work remotely. And this was the first time that I have ever had to work from home. And what I noticed is that I was missing out on physical activity and also just having that sense of getting out, getting some fresh air. So I made a decision that every morning before I clock in for work, that I am going to go for a walk. As I'm getting into my routine, I noticed that one day, I noticed that a woman, every time I would go for a walk in the morning, the same woman would also be going for a walk. And that's not unusual, but her appearance and just everything about her was very striking and just, caught my attention because I was beginning to see this woman almost every morning. It didn't matter the exact time. She was always somehow across the street from me. She was always somehow within my location. It never failed. It didn't matter if it was 6 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning. This woman was in the vicinity, whether across the street or around the corner, she would pop up. Now, what made her appearance so striking and unique was that she appeared to be an older woman. And when I say older woman, I'm talking about 70 or 80 years old. She was very tall, almost like 6 foot tall. She was thin. She was an older black woman. And at the time, I believe that she was wearing a mask, and I probably was wearing one too. But the way she was dressed made her stand out and be very unique. Now, the way she was dressed was extremely traditional. Like oftentimes it appeared that she wore like a very long skirt and almost like a blazer, very conservative like, but very traditional. And when I mean traditional, I mean a certain time period. She almost reminded me of a certain portrait that I would see of Harriet Tubman. So again, I would see her almost every morning, and she was always walking, and she would walk at a fast pace. Like she appeared to be this older woman, but she's walking at a very fast pace. It didn't appear that she was going to work or going to appointments or anything like that. And if she was just going for a walk in the mornings, she didn't have on the attire. Like I can't even remember what kind of shoes she had because her skirt would be so long covering her feet. But yeah, she didn't have on the kind of, oh, I'm going for a casual walk or I'm trying to exercise with, sneakers and, what we wear when we are going to engage in some type of physical activity. Like she wasn't dressed for that. So usually I would always see her across the street from me, which was kind of unique. But one time we were on the same sidewalk and she had walked past me. And I felt inclined that maybe I should speak to her, but I was just, I just didn't do it. I was just like kind of too nervous to do it. But the last time I had seen her we have like these trolley tracks. And if you're familiar with trolley tracks, they are similar to train tracks. So she's walking, like I said, she walks extremely fast. She could keep up with my pace because I walk fast. And she was walking on these trolley tracks. And I thought that was extremely, extremely bizarre. Something is just off. That's not safe. I do see sometimes I would see like teenagers or very, very impatient people walking the train tracks, those trolley tracks, excuse me. But to see an older woman do that, it really, really threw me off. So a couple months had passed and I never saw this woman again. And I have a feeling that this woman, and again, it didn't appear that she was going to a particular destination. Something tells me that this woman was some sort of spiritual being or guide for me, because I always got the sense that I was the only one that could see her. I can't explain why, but
often it felt like she was from a different timeline, a different universe, something. And it's like, why would I always run into her every time I would go for a walk? Every time. I mean, that can happen. But it just appeared just so unusual. And again, when she would walk fast and she's walking and she's not looking to her left or her right, always looking ahead. And I don't know, I think that we're connected. We were connected in some way. Whether she was a spirit guide, an angel, or even an extraterrestrial being, something. It just felt like she wasn't of this earth in many ways. So, yeah, another very unexplained event that I've experienced. And I always say, did this really happen? It always makes me question things like that. So